What I'm gonna do is I'm going to get like some brush and build like a little fire pit.
Okay.
Like dig out fire and then throw some brush in there and strike the flint and steel and light it.
Okay. You've created a small little fire.
And then I'm gonna go silence. And I peer into the flames and I'm gonna see if they can show me what happened here.
Ah, okay. So you need a roll for that, correct?
Yeah, I roll plus wisdom. So on a hit, you tell me something new and interesting. On a 10 plus, you give me a good detail. On a 7 through 9, you give me an impression.
So Wallow says silence. I let it go for a second and then let out an enormous fart.
I just look to you, and I glance down at the mandolin, and I glance back at the fire. Great. So that's just a miss.
Sorry about that, buddy.
You fall into the fire.
You broke my concentration. Yeah, so that's just a miss. So the fire shows me nothing.
In some places, that could be taken for a good omen.
So I extinguish the fire.
Hold on. I get to use a move.
Oh, okay.
Because he rolled so low?
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes moves will define what happened. Yeah.
The fart lights on fire? that'd be bad for you.
And all of a sudden we have a forest fire on our hands.
No, that's why I said I dug a pit. It's
This would be a
controlled.
brush fire. Thank you very much.
Our work here is done.
It's fine. If it starts a forest fire, it'll just all go to the far flame anyway. So I'll just run and be fine. Aga, where is your god now?
Yo, like,
is
if you
the
get
guy.
like consumed by the flames, man, isn't that just like the normal course of the fire flame? Like, how is that
Yes,
any different than?
But I have to add as much kindling as possible before.
Here,
it
you know what?
takes
We'll
me.
just do this. You're set your fire and you're staring intently into it, and nothing is happening. But what you do see in the corner of your eye, just below the fire, is a piece of skin.
Oh! So I put
And-
the fire out.
And before you have a chance, and it like is right next to the flame, and right as you notice it, it catches fire
Ooh.
and starts to torch. And as you quickly try and put the fire out to get the little bit of skin, it is already
Oh no!
ash.
I'm gonna like
That.
use my move to like.
And
Too
it
late.
is too late.
It's too late. Okay.
Because
Too late
you
to
barely saw it in
apologize.
time to
Alright.
stop it,
You
the
didn't
flame
know.
from eating it all. Though perhaps the one clue towards her skin is gone forever.
Well,
That's gross.
Did the rest of us see it?
No. Because, I mean, who else was staring intently into the fire?
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was still
So I-
struggling too hard.
I go. I burned a piece of skin.
I was nodding
Oh, well.
sagely.
At least the fire will appreciate me for this.
Wait,
What?
skin?
Does that
And I
count? Does that count as a human sacrifice?
Of course not. You need much more than that. And I like peer around at the ground and I go, if there was skin here though, there may be evidence of other things. Everybody have a look around. Maybe we can find something.
Yeah.
I want to see. Well, okay. So on the trap expert thing, do you have to already be conscious that the area could be dangerous to check for traps?
Yeah, you kind of have to say,
Okay.
I'm looking for traps.
But like, you can't just look for traps anywhere. It says, spend a moment to survey a dangerous area.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean,
would you consider this to be a dangerous area?
Some-
It depends on how
I
Peter
don't
defines
here.
trap. Like, is it a mechanical pit of spikes or is it an ambush? Like,
Alright.
that sort of thing.
Because like, one of my skills is to survey an area beforehand.
I don't think the fiction
So-
gives you the opportunity to, like, spot if skeletons are going to come out of the ground and grab us.
That would
But-
be
That would be helpful.
Yeah.
So.
Hey,
Uh,
can you
okay.
find any tracks in the ground? Perhaps something as it was walking away left a trail.
Oh, I probably can. Yeah, hunt and track. I totally can. Thank you.
Okay. Alright, you're going to try and see if the
Someone left
thing,
a trail.
Cecilia left a trail.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and roll 2d6.
Okay.
And was that add wisdom?
And Kaize is going to
don't
very
know. Follow
carefully
the trail
walk
of clues
behind her
behind
because he knows that she'll
The
just get
bypassing
way too
features,
deep
roll
into her
W.
tracking.
Yep.
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 She won't even know what's going on around her.
So it's going to be
and
2d6
All the way
plus
focused.
The bear is like rolled over on its side. It's going to take
Oh,
a
okay.
nap in the midday sun.
It and I are have busted out a little bit of my halfling pipe weed.
6, 7. So 7 plus, you follow the creature's trail until there is a significant change in its direction or mode of travel.
If there is a trail.
Okay, so, You see at the edge of the little field is a broken piece of wheat. You sense that whatever Dorn lay with walked this way. And so you follow it, and you follow broken piece after broken piece. It seemed to be keenly aware of where it was stepping, but it wasn't keen enough to hide its tracks. It followed along these tracks long enough until it made it to a cliff facing the water.
So it goes off this way.
It goes off the cliff?
You're like telling us this, like we can follow you and all that?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. I mean, you notice that I'm walking around mumbling to my bear. I mean,
But you always do
Yeah.
that.
Tracks.
yeah.
So you are now
gonna find these
at the
tracks.
cliff
It's perfect.
facing the water. About
East Cliff.
50 feet below you, waves crash against the rocks.
Do you think she took a dive into the waves?
Depends on what she was at that time. What was she? Was she human anymore?
Probably something in between.
Yes, I think it's pretty clear this goes beyond mere human experience, man.
You ever heard of somebody's skin sloughing off?
Never.
Have I ever heard of somebody's skin sloughing off?
Never voluntarily.
Spout lore.
Nope.
We just don't work well together, do we?
No.
I'm going to look for a way down. Perhaps there's more at the bottom of the cliff.
Okay, that's going to be discern realities. Roll plus whiz.
Plus whiz. That is
There
a
you go.
10.
Okay,
Boom.
you can ask me 3 questions.
Okay.
So, for example,
What here is... what should I be on the lookout for?
a cave to hide in or bits of skin.
What here is not what it appears to be?
Down below in the rocks, you see one of the rocks. At first glance, it looks like a rock, but when a wave hits it, it kind of sloshes up with the wave.
Ooh, and
Lighter than a rock.
what is about to happen?
What is about to happen? Oh, that's a tough question.
That one's a little bit open-ended at this point. Let's
ambiguous.
see. Man, those 2 questions were so good. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
I think Kaize sees
I mean,
what.
the useful or valuable, I could give you an answer for.
Oh, okay, yeah. What here is useful or valuable to?
To your right, you see that there are a lot more rocks in the cliff facing. It might be easier to climb down from there.
I think I see something below in the waves. And to the right, perhaps if we, I don't know how strong some of you are, but I could climb down this section to get closer.
I could, but I would have to leave my bear here.
The bear can't climb down.
He might be.
The fire did not channel me with
He's a
bodily
fish.
strength. Go on, Kaize. Tell us what you find.
You have an adventuring gear, right?
He's burly.
I do.
You could possibly pull out a rope from it.
Oh.
I could,
I do
and I'm
too.
going to. I'm going to pull out a rope because I always have rope on me. And so basically, I find a piece of rock that seems like the most sturdy, or like a more like a foundational piece. Wrap it around, so that's wrap it tight, and then I'm guessing the rope would go all the way down.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, who wants to lead the way? Should I? I'll lead the way.
Why don't you lead the way?
And
You
so-
know, this foundation is actually probably a relic of the ancient gnome civilization that used to cover these lands. Tens of thousands of years ago. Bet you didn't know that.
I know that now.
Look at that, learning every day.
I learned, and so I'm gonna climb down the rope. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? You don't need a roll for that. You sound well prepared. So you shimmy on down the rope. The rocks that,
He did not fall, as I was expecting.
yeah, the rocks that were pointed out
Very
make
sad.
it really easy to just kind of rappel down. And eventually you make it down to where the water is crashing against the rocks. And indeed, a piece of something that's kind of pale fleshy-like is kind of moving with the waves.
Hmm. I
It
yell.
is
Stick in
far
your
enough that
bag.
you could probably grab it.
I yell up to them. It's flesh.
Gross.
I think you should grab it.
Yeah, bring it up here. I can burn it.
Okay.
So I climb down with him.
Is this a dangerous situation? I might test to see if this is.
I reach out
bad.
and grab it.
He grabs it.
Are you gonna go down and grab it?
Yes.
Yeah, you're not gonna wait for him to grab it?
No.
Okay. In your impatience, you quickly shimmy down after Sly, and you pick up a piece of flesh that has been laying in the water for it's been about a week and a half. Yeah.
Better you than I.
It is
Ugh.
pale, slightly rot at the sides. Now you've pulled out the water, the stench attacks your nose.
These are all just like
And it's kind of
sensations,
bloated.
man.
Okay. Do you bring it up?
Yeah.
I mean, we got it. We
I
gotta
don't
take a look.
understand
So
why
is
you
this
picked
the
it up.
whole thing, or is
Now
this...
Sly, I would have.
It is most of it.
Okay.
When you pull it up and you lay it down, you see that just like Dorn's story, the arm has been sloughed off,
Okay.
and at the shoulder, you see a lot more rot than any other places. And it looks like the skin of what could have been a woman.
And it's just the skin, no flesh, no muscles.
Just the skin, no muscles, just skin, and there's no blood either.
Do
Okay.
you see a cave down there?
I have a suspicion that this.
Yeah, is there a cave down here?
Oh, you look up and you see that there is a cave hidden amongst the rocks.
I have a suspicion that, based off of what Dorn has said, that this creature must have used this Cecilia as a disguise. Maybe not actually her herself, or
A host, perhaps.
yeah, because he was saying that she was looking a lot different than normal. So
Showing more skin.
who's to say that it ever was her? Maybe she was murdered first and then her body was used as a disguise, or maybe someone was just mimicking her.
So here's what I'm not getting. Why did she take Dorn out into the wheat?
Well, it depends on what she wanted from him.
Right, that's what I'm...
Another host.
You know, a strong, sexy man like him.
Maybe that's like the next stage.
Yes.
I scratch my chin with the tip of my quill.
Okay, let's go up.
Or we could just
Into
find
the
it and
cave.
kill it, and then we'll know for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
After they're done looking at the piece of flesh, I'm going to
Solution.
immolate it.
It is gone. Just burns, and the smell of cooked flesh fills
Well,
your nostrils.
It smells like real
A
flesh.
slight improvement
so-
from the rotten smell before.
The sludge is cleansed.
You know, Wallow, usually I'd give you shit for stinking up the place, but like, this isn't so bad.
The smell of fire is never bad, my friend. You just have to get used to it.
If this is the way you acquire that taste, I'll pass.
The sun is
don't
now
worry.
beginning
You'll
to
learn.
set completely. It's beginning to get dark. Dorn looks around nervously and says, "Do you guys need me anymore? I think I
You
might
know-
head back into town, go to the lady at large, and get a few drinks. Haha.
Someone should
Sure, the
want.
lads have missed me."
Return to the lady at large, Dorn, and stay clear of rotten maidens from here on out.
Oh yes, believe you me.
Also,
No, I think
you may
it's a
want to
bad
go.
idea.
You may want to go to Falstaff and report that it wasn't a griffin. If you tell him the truth, then people can get back to work, and your little community won't
But-
suffer for your lie.
No, you don't understand.
I understand perfectly.
If they find out it wasn't a griffin, I'll have to give up my life.
Yo, Dorn, either
Oh.
you tell him, or we tell him.
Tell them that we'll corroborate your story.
What about...
If they kill you-
What's this about giving up your life?
I swore upon Aga that it was a griffin.
Which
I-
means he has to
if-
sacrifice his life.
If I...
Jesus.
You
I'll-
put yourself in quite a spot. It's a shame.
I'll have to go to the Chamber of Death.
The Chamber of Death.
Yes.
Tell me more about the Chamber of Death.
Those who are done with life and wish to be free of the pain lay in the chamber of death, and they'll find themselves free of the shackles of life.
Well, it's a chamber, and there's some death in it.
Well, no, but I'm
It's like the showbox.
No, I
Sounds
know,
like
I
the
know.
coward's way out. If you were a true warrior, you would take your own life.
To you, perhaps, but it is a great honor at the end of your life to give the rest of it to the Lady Aga.
Why did you swear such a thing on a lie? You must know that.
Because I
Griffin-
was scared and I really wanted them to know it was a griffin.
So you're saying that no?
I think, in fact, I will leave Gunta instead.
So you're saying
Become an adventurer, like I told you.
Hold
I
on.
don't think you'll make.
So
a
you're
good
saying
adventurer.
whoever goes to
You
the
might.
chamber of death
This man has
never
dishonored
returns.
himself.
Well, no, they lay down, and after a while...
So how do you know what goes on in the chamber of death?
Well, the door's open.
You should go in there and tell us.
So you only have your folklore that gives you the information
Well,
about.
my granddad gave himself up to the room of death.
That's.
Yeah. And
And,
did he tell you that's how it went?
well, I mean, he didn't tell me how it went because he was dead afterwards.
Sounds like a.
He died
A
in the
Schrodinger's
chamber of
chamber of
death,
death.
and we buried him.
Listen, Dorn. We might need you for some more stuff.
Oh.
You can't skip town. If you do, we'll hunt you down and kill you.
Why don't you
My
just?
bear growls at you.
You've always wanted to be an adventurer. Now is your prime opportunity.
Sorry, A will hunt you down, and Wallow will probably kill you.
Well, I'll burn you. But, you know, what you should do is come with us instead. That way we can keep an eye on
We
you.
are great adventurers.
as
You will
long-
learn from the best.
As long as it's understood that
We're all right.
it was a griffin while I am in Gunta.
We made it out of the 6th realm.
My bear growls at you again.
Trying to be humble, man.
We'll deal with that
You
when
could learn a thing
when
or
the, we'll
It
deal with
stands
that.
really
when
close.
You're trying to be humble?
really uncomfortably close.
It's the bard. Let's the story.
Okay,
shine forth,
I'll
man.
stay with you guys then.
Okay.
Besides, remember how close that was. We barely made it out of there.
Nah.
Can hardly be counted as a victory.